Hello everyone, welcome to Garden Obsessions.
Super excited today because we are going to start working.
Well, so today we're tackling the secret garden path.
Yeah, and it's something that we've been going back and forth, I think all winter or even before winter.
Oh yeah.
Because it's, like I love to call it, a muddy, muddy mess. But you know, Ambrose did do a couple of things when we first got here that actually helped a lot.
Yep.
So we don't have that pond back here.
We don't have a swamp back here to walk through every time we leave the backyard here. But I think one of the most important things was Angie was talking about is agreeing on what we want in the garden, because again, we are two different people, and I think you received that question.
Yeah, I always get that question. You know, you guys ask me a lot. How do you come into terms? How do you decide what to do? You know, and yeah, it can. Sometimes we do crash, you know, on things because he likes one thing and I like something else, and it's okay. But somehow we always manage to come meet in the middle. And this time we did that exactly with what we want to plant down here in the ground. Yeah,
so actually, you know, in the beginning I wanted grass back here, and unfortunately because of the muddy mess and the rain that we get here a lot, and we can't really do much to the garden, the grass that we put down here about a year ago did great until we started getting a whole bunch of rain, and it just completely washed it out.
And I love the look. It looked beautiful. We had it for a while.
Yeah. So we had the grass, we had the rock down the middle for the path, but we actually came to an agreement. You know, during winter, we talked about a lot of stuff that we wanted to do back here, and I think the best solution, and so far has been great, is just completely throwing mulch down here and just lining out the path with some rubber, you know, exteriors here to keep it separated from the rest of it, and just leave this as a path here with some stone.
It also opened up another, you know, another door to being able to enjoy the shade garden, and now start looking for plants that, if I'm correct, bog plants. Yes. Did I say it right? Those kind of plants. Yeah,
so again, with the mulch actually helps because it absorbs a lot of the water, but there is still going to be some water in the soil here. So we did some research so far. From what you see here is we're going to actually put down a lot of Carex grasses, and then we're going to do some hostas in a different type of way to where they don't sit in any water as much.
So it's just, you know, there are things that we haven't done before. Like one, actually full-blown have a shade garden. Yep. You know, and just that now is leading to trying some other new things. So and actually experiencing more different plants that we've never been able to grow as well. Which
reminds me, we also have astilbe that we're going to put in here because it does extremely well in wet areas. Let's
get going then and start showing them, so that way we can start planting, and you know, see if y'all like it.
All right, so as Angie's gathering up the biotone and the kneeling pad, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the plants that are actually going to go on the ground. So we have a few Carex grasses and ogon grass. So this is a chorus ogon grass that we're actually going to put in the ground here because these guys can retain a lot of water. You'll find these on the sides or shores of ponds, and they do really, really well. And then I have another golden variegated sweet flag grass as well. It's the same family, just this one's variegated, this one's a lot more green. Over here we have a Feathers Falls Carex that does or will do extremely well in these watery conditions. And then I think the last thing we have is we have some of these beautiful astilbes that we found. They're called Rhineland. It's like almost like a cotton candy pink. We're hoping for more of a lighter pink because it's going to be more in the shade here. But very excited to have some astilbe in the ground. These will grow about 2 feet by 2 feet, so they'll look absolutely wonderful in here and fill in. And then the last thing we're doing is some hostas. So we have 3 of the same hostas in this area. This is a Prudent Winters Diamond Lake hosta that we're going to put in here. And as you can see, some beautiful growth already coming out. They're already starting to show a lot of growth to them. And then on the other side, we have this is a Shadowland Woo-La-La that we're going to put on this side here. And we'll get to the hostas later to show you exactly how we're going to do that without actually putting them completely in the ground.
Okay, I got the biotone and the kneeling pad ready. Okay, did you explain to them about the daffodils?
Nope.
Because we do have daffodils. We're going to wait. Those were the TNT daffodils, and we're going to go ahead and wait for those to die back. But I thought it was a perfect time to start planting. That way we know where they're at.
Yeah, definitely.
And just let them die back.
Yep.
So
we're gonna get started digging into the ground, and then we'll start getting some plants in there.
okay, let's do this. Where do we start?
Done.
Yep, I got one more of the Carex grass. And I noticed something. Ambrose did too. The soil's more workable now. We went ahead and laid down, what was it, compost?
Yep.
And it worked because you can tell the difference.
Yeah, it was a lot easier to dig in there.
So we'll just clean it up with more mulch. Okay, so the grasses are done, and the astilbe. Got to take a look back. I like it. Now let's get going with the hostas.
All right, so we have everything else already in the ground. The grasses, the astilbe. It's looking beautiful already. The next thing we need to do is get these hostas.
The hostas in, which I'm excited because I feel that this area needs the hostas down here so badly.
So here's the cool way we're actually gonna plant them. We're actually using pond planting baskets, and the reason for that is we're only gonna dig maybe about 3/4 to halfway down.
Yes.
And that way we can monitor how much water we're actually getting when it rains, and if they start looking bad,
we'll just pull them out. So we're filling in with potting mix in there. It's like a planter inside the ground, but it's able to drain out.
And if the roots want to escape, they can easily make their way out here. But again, this will make it easy to retrieve them if they start looking, you know, like they're getting too much water, which I'm hoping is not the case. And I think the water will just pass right through these because it is a planting basket. So.
There's other ways with like plastic. You can line it and make a hole in the ground and line it with plastic, and then you do the same. You know, you poke holes through the plastic. But we thought, well, why not? Might as well use an actual basket with hose and everything. It's ready to go. So let's see what we can get done and if it works.
Yep, let's get going with it.
Okay. We're trying to rush because it's starting to get dark already.
Nope. Couldn't wait. Excited to do this.
All day, Ambrose, just coming in and out as he went and got the plants, and he was so ready to get this going. Made me super happy that he got right on board with it. At first you weren't, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it took some time to
You were like
agree with what we wanted to do in here.
I'd rather have more space for plants than for grass. So, okay.
All right, so the difficult part about doing these hostas is not digging a circular hole, but actually I gotta make it more square to get this basket at least halfway to 3/4 of the way. Again, the mulch is gonna cover the outside of it, so you won't really be able to notice it too much, and then we may just scoot the mulch right up against the planting. So that way it's a little bit lifted, and the water that runs through there will just run right through there with that 1 to 1.5 inches of mulch on top there. All right, so that is our first hosta complete. And as you can see, it's still sticking up about a ½ inch to an inch. But the reason for that is to keep it up off the ground, so the crown's still a little bit higher, and the water that actually builds up from the rain just passes right through the bottom there. We have these daffodils here that are gonna come out once they start dying back. But that's the first one. We're gonna get going with the rest of them, and then we'll come back at the end of the video and tell you about the plans that we have left for these beds here. All right, so we're done planting the secret garden path, and I'm gonna put some photos on there of what it looks like completely mulched because it's getting dark here. I'll do those shots in the morning, but you'll see that right now on the screen of what it's gonna look like with all the mulch already on there.
I'm happy.
Yeah, definitely excited.
I've been, guys, just all winter going through things and trying to see what I wanted, the look that I wanted in here, and this is it. We're not done. There's still a few other little pockets to fill in here and there, but we wanted to get a feel for it right now, and as we could find some plants out there already.
Yeah, definitely.
And see right now how the plants do. If it works out, the ones that we put in the basket. And to close this out, I think it's a way to learn and see that there's always a way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's always a way to do something, and that's the amazing thing about, so many things in life, but also in the gardening world. There is always a way to do it. There's no impossible. Just go for it and just try it out.
So I mean, a year ago, I would have never thought to actually have anything in this area right here. And there was a comment somebody left us one time, and it's called dating your garden. I think that's what we're doing right now. Is we're really just dating our garden, because I mean we move so much, and with this here, it's kind of like we didn't know if it was going to work or not. It was just too wet, too muddy, but we found a solution.
There's ways,
and there's a way to make it work. And again, we're not going to be here much longer, so this is something that we're trying out, and this is just all pure knowledge, just building up and learning from different little experiences here and there.
And, in my head, my vision was, and I try to get him to see that, some movement down here, keep it really subtle with foliage, greenery, variegation. We'll be popping in the hookeras that are in the containers with the hellebores. A lot of the plants that were in there, we're going to put down here, and just see how we fill in the other, other pockets with other plants. And I just wanted to see this little thing where you walk in, and when that right light hits, especially in golden hour, that grass, the little movement as the wind moves, that's what I'm hoping.
You get just a little peek of the sunlight in here, and absolutely looks amazing with what we had just sitting out here for the last few days waiting to plant this stuff in.
And I'm hoping that that's what we, get to see all through the growing season. So let's wrap it up.
Yep, so that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little planting right here. Something different than flowers. And I think this foliage is going to absolutely look beautiful in this secret garden path here.
And we'll be showing you what it looks like when the sun comes back up.
So we'll see you guys in the next video.
Que basta, mi amor.